All right, YouTube, Facebook, everyone keep asking me about how did I install the 2020 headlights onto my 2017 Polaris Slingshot. So I'm gonna do the best I can to explain to you without actually tearing my Slingshot apart. So I'm gonna tell you the part list real quick. Take it over to my desk, show you the part list real quick. Okay, you're going to need this housing. I paid $90. That's my 10% discount off of from my Polaris dealer. That's the housing you're going to need. The part numbers are down here. However, this is for Indy red, and then there's sky blue. It's a panel LED accent upper left, and then there's also the right. But they also come in just this black texture, which is this is the original one I took off from my 2017 Slingshot. But just to go to show you, and even though this is the left side over here, which is a little harder to see, so I'm gonna just show you the right side. It's the exact same mold. The bolts, everything lines up pretty much exactly the same. So it's pretty much a direct fit. So you see that, and you see this. So, all right, so you're gonna need that housing, which is this part right here. I paid $90 for it, so you figure you need two of those. That's $180. These are the DRL lights. So I have the upper, and I paid $64 for them. So what's that? $128 for a set, which I paid actually a little bit less. So that's what you're gonna need. Now, if you're going to do the bottom half with the gap fillers and those DRLs, there they are right there, and the prices are pretty much the same. So these are the part numbers. Match them up with the number. Now the center light is a different animal. The center light is $330. I can get it 10% off, $300. However, you need a bracket made. Now you can get that bracket from Underground Auto Styling, or you can get it from RCB Customs. I do believe they make it as well. So you will have to figure out what they're going to sell it to you for, but you're definitely going to need a bracket unless you're very good at fabricating one for yourself. So those are the parts you need. Let's go to show some parts and the prices that was quoted to me. However, I didn't pay for all this stuff because I didn't need all this stuff. So, but just go to show, like the upper right, $64.99, the lower right, $64.99, even the lower halves for the DRLs, same price, $64. So, all right, those are the parts. The one I have is in black. That part number is not on there, but your dealer should be able to figure that out. Now, let's get to it. We're gonna start with this side. Actually, this is gonna be the only side we're gonna do. But this is the right DRL setup for 2020. This is the right one that I took off. Now, this screw right here, you're gonna have to take out. It's a torque screw. And then there's another screw over here on this side, which is a torque screw, which is also the same over here. However, you're gonna have to lift the hood in order to get to that torque screw. There's also another tiny little screw up here on this corner that you're gonna have to take out. Now I'm gonna tell you this, the best thing to do to know exactly how to remove this, and this is what I did, I always refer to any part taken off a Slingshot. I go onto slingmods.com and look up different things that they did to the Slingshot, because they usually always have a video on how to remove and install different pieces. So the pieces that I looked up on Sling Mods was the Canadian headlight style. If you look at that video, how they would take and take this apart to install the Canadian lights, it's the exact same thing. So you can actually watch a tutorial video on slingmods.com on how to remove this piece right here. So I'm gonna open up the hood and get to it. I'm gonna have to set my phone down for a hot second so I can, because I only have 2 hands. All right, here we go. As I said, first screw. Let me grab my flashlight so I can point some stuff out here. First screw. This flashlight. Drawer full of flashlights. Here we go. Alright. So, first screw. And then there's another screw over here. Which is up in there in that corner. I don't know if this camera's getting it, but it's right there. And then there's this other screw right here, which is a smaller screw. So you take that out. So there's 3 screws. There's, as I said, 1, 2 over there, 3 right here. Now, on your Slingshot, you're gonna have another screw that goes into your light housing, which is, let's see if you can see it down here. See that hole right there? So you won't have to take that screw out to get out your original light housing. Now, your original light housing is going to look like this. It's going to look like this. This is the original light housing, and when it's down there, that hole right there, that's where the screw was. So you want to get that. Well, this might be the opposite side. So I think this was the left side over there, but the opposite side, either way it go, you won't have to get that screw out of there from that right there, which is the same as that right there. So you get that out, you disconnect it, disconnect these wires right here. Also have the trace rings on there, so I had to disconnect that, as you see. So you get that out. Let me put this back down on the table. Now you want to get that, all that out, you won't have these pointy little screws out with these clips. What they're actually designed to do is, like, if your headlights are not straight inside your Slingshot housing, you can adjust these to straighten them out to get the proper angle of the light shining down on the road. I didn't have time to forward these, so I just took a hammer and tap the front of them till it pops them out the back, and then just rip them out, because you don't need them. I mean, this is all garbage now. So now that's out of the way. Now, originally when you took this screw out right here, this is the tricky part. When you take this screw out right here, this bracket right here, kind of see what I did with it. This bracket right here is actually in front of this lip right here. So it's actually in front. So instead of it being on the front, I put it on the back side of it. And because this piece actually comes back a little further, so instead of this right here, because you can see how this little flange, it actually was inside this hole right, kind of see it, a little hole right there inside the metal. See my fingers on the opposite side. It actually goes in there, but you have to move this back so this front piece can fit flush. So that's the only modifying you do, but you're not cutting anything. So what I did was I went and purchased from Home Depot this screw, and then I grabbed a couple nuts, or you can use spacers or whatever to get back I would say that's probably about a little bit more than an inch, probably 3/4 of an inch back. So you would get that, put that on there. I'm gonna show you the nuts if I can find them inside my workbench. Got all this stuff in here. I should have took this stuff out prior and been a little bit more prepared. All right, here we go. Sorry I made this video on the fly, but it is what it is. Alright. These are like the little nuts and screws. See? Grab these right here and you can see the size. 6mm, 1.0, 30 millimeters long. You can get that, and then you can get either packs of spacers. However, instead of using spacers, I bought 2 of these, which I just screw in the middle for, you know, like spacers. But that's what I got. Now the actual screw that you actually gonna take out is this. This is the actual screw that is actually in your slingshot now. So I just take this out, replace it with this from Home Depot, and then again with 2 of these nuts. I'll take this out here so you can see. Okay, so you can see where I'm at. So this is the screw that I just showed you, these right here. And you now take this bracket, instead of it being on the front where it originally starts out, you just put it on the back side. It started out on the front, but now you put it on the back side, and then you just put, well, I just put 2 of these nuts in between and screw it reverse, the back side. And then with this over here, now it'll still be a little off, but this metal bends a little bit, so you bend it in just so you can get your original screw back in. Lines up perfectly. So now you have that completely installed. Now this down here, don't worry about this, because I got a different gap filler. This is to support my bottom gap filler, so this has nothing to do with what's going on with what you're doing, so disregard that. But now you got that in, and oh, I should have also told you, before you install the plastic piece, put the headlight in here first. These are the nuts that I told you you're gonna have to buy from Polaris. They're little cheap, I don't even know if they're plastic, they're almost like thin tin type nuts. You put on there and you just screw them in and line it up. But anyway, once you get all that in, the next part is you're going to have to take your factory wiring, and you're going to have to, where your original lights was plugged in, you're going to have to peel the, I guess this loom back. You're going to have to peel the loom back just so it can stretch and reach down there. As you see, that's the factory wire going directly into the new factory LED light. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I wish I could explain it a little bit better. Another thing you're gonna have to do, now these is hood adjusters. So when you put the light in, you close your hood, if your gaps is not right from your hood to your light, then you would just turn this hood adjuster up or down to get the proper height from on top of your light between your hood. So that's pretty much it. You just turn it on. It's plug and play. It's real simple. It's not that difficult. I can do it in 20 minutes. Honest to goodness, I could do it in 20 minutes. So no modifying at all. Just the only trick is just to rearrange
move this from the front of this to the back. So I hope that helps everybody out. If you guys have any further questions, always happy to help. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm all for the do-it-yourself type guys. You know what I'm saying? I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so therefore I apply what I learned. Look, I didn't even take the plastic off of this yet. Still got the plastic on it. But I'll start it up and turn it on. Now, I got air ride on this, so in order to get it up high enough, I got it on 3, so it's kind of dunked out right now. So as soon as I turn it on, it's going to drop. But there we go. It dropped, but now you can see what the DRLs look like. Lit up, solid, ain't going nowhere. Perfect. The alignment is perfect from the light housing to the hood. I mean, like I said, if you guys have any questions, hit me up. I'll give you the best advice I can. But yeah, it's plug and play. No special modifications, and it's not that expensive. So knock yourself out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me 2 thumbs up if you like it. If not, hey, I appreciate you watching it anyway. Deuces.